Good afternoon, everyone. It is July 24th, 2025, and this is the meeting of the Chatham Zoning Board of Appeals. Pursuant to Governor Healy's March 28th, 2025, signing of Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2025, extending certain COVID measures adopted during the state of emergency until June 30th, 2027, this meeting of the Chatham Zoning Board of Appeals is being conducted in person and via remote participation. Every effort will be made to ensure that the public can adequately access the proceedings as provided for in the order. A reminder, persons who'd like to listen to this meeting while in progress may do so by calling 1-508-945-4410, conference ID 158-184-797#, or join the meeting online via the link on the Microsoft Teams posted agenda. This is a live broadcast and simulcast on Chatham TV, but despite our best efforts, we may not be able to provide real-time access. But the meeting will be posted as soon as possible on the town's website. In accordance with town policy, the public can speak to any issue or business item on the agenda during the meeting when recognized by the chair. The procedural steps are as follows. We have a roll call vote of all board members. We ask if anyone is online, if they could just make their identification known. The hearing notice will be read by staff, Sarah Clark on my right. You or your representative will present the appeal or application. Anyone in favor will have up to 5 minutes to state their opinion. After that, I'll read any letters that we've received. And then after that, the people who would like to ask a question or have some opinions against the application will have up to 5 minutes to do that. There'll be a rebuttal opportunity. Then we will have questions from the board, and we will close the public hearing after that, and the board itself will deliberate. There'll be no outside comments during that time once the public hearing is closed, unless we decide to ask for that. Then we will usually vote on the appeal, and all votes are taken by roll call. At the end of the meeting, we'll close via verbal confirmation and note the time of adjournment. With that, we will do a roll call vote with everybody saying that they approve this form of meeting, starting with David Veach.
Yes, David H. Veach, and I approve this meeting format.
Ed Acton, and I approve.
Paul C. Semple, I approve this format.
Lee Hovey, I approve this format.
Stephen D. DeBoer, and I approve.
Virginia Fenwick, I approve.
And Randy Potash approves as well. We have meeting minutes. We just have one change when we get to it. The meeting was held on June 26, 2025. Paul?
I will move to adopt the minutes drafted for June 26, 2025.
Dave Veach seconds and offers this modest correction. On page 9, on the third line down, identifying the architect, it should read, right now it reads Matt Hutker / architect. It should read Matt Schiffer from Hutker, architect.
Okay.
And I vote to approve.
Okay. Anybody else have a comment? No? And who was voting that day on June 26th? Is it,
Let's see here.
so were you Ed? Yeah, so can you vote to approve the minutes?
Yeah, Ed Acton votes to approve.
Paul?
All votes to approve.
I vote to approve.
And so do I. All right, that's unanimous. All right, well, we're going to go a little bit out of order today. The first application that we're going to do would be one that there's a request for a continuance, and that's 25-049, Elizabeth English and Lee Williams, and that is 67 School Street. Whenever Sarah's ready, she reads the advertisement, and then we take it from there.
Application number 25-049, Elizabeth English and Lee Williams, care of Paul Muldoon, 693 Main Street, Chatham, Mass. 02633. Owners of property located at 67 School Street, also shown on the Town of Chatham's Assessor's Map 16C, Block 66, Lot 38. The applicant proposes to change, alter, or expand a nonconforming dwelling on a nonconforming lot via the demolition and reconstruction of the roof, sunroom, and deck. The existing dwelling is nonconforming, and that it is located 8.5 feet from School Street and 13.9 feet from the southerly abutter. The proposed uppermost level will be nonconforming, that is located 8.5 feet from School Street, where a 25-foot setback is required. The reconstructed sunroom will be nonconforming, and that it will be located 14 feet from the southerly abutter, and the proposed deck will be nonconforming, located 14.5 feet from the southerly abutter, where a 15-foot setback is required. The existing building coverage is 1,850 square feet, 16.3%, and the proposed building coverage is 1,860 square feet, 16.4%, or 15% is the maximum allowed. The lot is nonconforming, and that it contains 11,397 square feet, where 20,000 square feet is required in the R20 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6, and Section 5B of the protective bylaw.
Welcome.
Thank you. Paul Muldoon from SV Design. We are reevaluating our design and strategies after having commentary from the Cape Cod Commission and the Chatham Historic Commission. We respectfully request a continuance.
Okay, September 25th?
Okay?
Okay, Paul?
I will move to grant the requested continuance to September 25, 2025.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul?
Paul votes yes.
Lee?
I vote yes.
And
Judy votes yes.
as do I. It's unanimous.
Thank you.
We'll see you then.
Sounds great.
Thank you. All right, moving along to 233 Barcliff Avenue. I believe that would be next. And that is 25-048, Marvin Schlossman and Melina Atkinson. And whenever Sarah's ready.
Application number 25-048, Marvin Schlossman and Melina Atkinson, care of Paul Muldoon, 693 Main Street, Chatham, Mass. 02633. Owners of property located at 233 Barcliff Avenue, also shown in the Town of Chatham's Assessor's Map 14F, Block 76, Lot F3. The applicant seeks to enlarge, extend, or change a conforming dwelling on a non-conforming lot via the construction of additions. The proposed additions will comply with all bulk and dimensional requirements of the bylaw, but is considered a substantial alteration, and under the second except clause of Section 6 of Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, such substantial alteration requires the grant of a special permit. The existing building coverage is 1,564 square feet, 14.3%, and the proposed building coverage is 1,638 square feet, 14.95%, where 15% is the maximum allowed. The lot is nonconforming, and that it contains 10,957 square feet, where 20,000 square feet is required in the R20 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6, and Section 5B of the protective bylaw.
Welcome.
Thank you. Paul Muldoon, SV Design, here representing the Schlossmans and their project at 233 Barcliff. The existing structure is sitting in a R20 zone, so we have a small lot. We've got a little over 20,000 or 10,000, almost 11,000 square feet, where 20,000 is required. Our project here is aimed to create curb appeal, transitioning a ranch house into something that's a slightly more contemporary Cape. Our additions are small and modest. The back corner of the existing garage here will be removed and rebuilt, including a small addition of 74 square feet in the back of that garage. We'll be infilling the space of the existing entry and then adding a bulkhead, along with some minor alterations to the exterior, where we have a front bay window with a new roof line over the top of that. Existing, or all the exterior materials, trim, roofing, siding will be replaced. From a structural standpoint, we're cutting off the hat. We're taking off the existing roof and reshaping a new roof and sitting it on the same walls and structure. As Sarah mentioned, our building coverage as 14.3 existing, going up to 14.95 percentage. The setbacks on the eastern side actually improve a bit as we remove that garage space and rebuild it to get a proper foundation underneath it. It's still a one-story structure, but you can see here we're at 17.9 feet from the eastern property line, going to 18.4, so we're gaining maybe 6 inches of space in that location. Again, we're adding a bulkhead on that western side, but the shape of the structure around the perimeter of the rest of the building remains. The renovation materials used will have simulated divided light windows, white trim, white casing around windows, stained cedar shingles, and a asphalt roof shingle, similar to what's there now, similar to what's found in the neighborhood and throughout Chatham. We find these characteristics all throughout the town. I feel like this modest-sized addition does not create any adverse effect in the neighborhood. We did see the comments from a couple of direct abutters about parking. Our contractor, Kevin Boyer, is here, and we've been coordinated in the effort to ensure that all construction activities and parking will happen on the property. I think it being a corner lot gives us a little bit more opportunity to do that, where we can absolutely fit cars, trucks, storage on both sides, Barcliff and on Blueberry Lane. With that, I'm happy to answer any questions or go into the criteria.
Sure, that would be great, thank you.
Number one, adequacy of the size of the site in terms of the proposed use. It's a non-conforming lot that has less than required lot area. The zoning bylaw allows up to 15% of building coverage, and our proposed structure will increase that, our 14.3% coverage to 14.95, remaining a conforming coverage. The suitability of the site for the proposed use. There is no change in use. It is an existing single-family home on a residentially zoned neighborhood. The impact of traffic flow and safety. There is no impact on traffic flow, no impact on safety that will be created. The impact on the neighborhood's visual character, including views and vistas. We feel the proposed exterior upgrades are an improvement to the visual character of the existing home. We feel like it'll still fit in with the neighborhood and be an improvement in the neighborhood. We don't see that there will be any issues with vistas and views through and around the neighborhood. Adequacy of the method of sewage disposal, source of water and drainage. The previous owner had gotten a three-bedroom system approved. So that's part of our process here, part of our project, that a three-bedroom AI system will be installed during the course of construction. It's a three-bedroom system, and we're creating no more than 3 bedrooms. All the water sources will remain, and any new roof runoff will be contained on site. Adequacy of the utilities and other public services. There's an existing 100 amp service, electric service to the house. We're going to upgrade that to a 200 amp service. No additional noise or litter will be created by the modest addition. Compatibility of the proposed use and surrounding uses. There's no change in the use. Again, single-family residential home in a residential neighborhood. No impact to the natural environment, slopes, vegetation, wetlands, groundwater, or water bodies, and no business establishment.
Very good, thank you very much. Is there anybody here or online that would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please raise your hand. And if not, I'll go on to the correspondences. First, we have a note from Judith Giorgio, received on 7/21/25, and she is our health agent. She's reviewed the plan, and the proposal was approved by the Board of Health to include an updated IA system for nitrogen removal in accordance with the regulation. The property is approved for three bedrooms and will require a deed restriction. We have a message from Mia and Peter Engel, 26 Blueberry Lane, from July 21. They're writing in response to the legal notice that they received. They live at 26 Blueberry. They're in support of the proposed project and think the plans look nice. Their concern is parking for the work vehicles. The neighborhood is small, and the street has been dealing with a lot of construction projects lately and work vehicles, and they've created a lot of problems in the neighborhood. 230 Barcliff, the house directly across the street from 233, is also going to start construction soon. And with these two large projects commencing, extra congestion is expected, and they say that they hope the construction companies can be mindful that Blueberry Lane, Cranberry Knoll, and Beach Plum Way are quite small streets, and they're quiet, and they want you to arrange for parking elsewhere. Otherwise, thank you for your consideration, and have a nice afternoon. Then we have a note from Joanne and Brian Zebrat, 11 Cranberry Knoll, Chatham. This letter is in response to the application for 233 Barcliff. They are also not an objection to the proposed construction. They are, however, in strong objection to the probable congestion of vehicles that may take over their road. Cranberry Lane, Cranberry Knoll, Beach Plum Way is a tight neighborhood, and they've been currently suffering from construction vehicles blocking their road, and they have been since last winter. It's annoying, and they say at the very least it's annoying. They understand work vehicles need to park somewhere. They ask that the company responsible for this project arrange for possible off-site parking. Next, Jean Davino from 24 Bayberry Road writes on July 24th that over the last few years, there's been a lot of rebuilding in the neighborhood, making it impossible to get around or through Barcliff or Blueberry Lane. Blueberry Lane is the only way in and out for our subdivision. With tractors, trailers, work trucks, it becomes untenable. I'm looking at the conditions for 7 Cranberry Knoll, for example. All construction activity and vehicles should be contained on site or at a neighboring property with the permission of the property owner. Between June 30th and Labor Day, no exterior construction be allowed. No work shall be permitted on the weekends. Construction activity between 8 and 5. Bottom line is, how does this get enforced? Is there an inspector going around to the construction sites? Who can this be reported to? Thanks, Jean Davino. And we're going to ask our building commissioner about that in a moment. I just want to continue on with is there anybody here or online that would like to speak against or has a specific question? No. Okay, so at this point, instead of having you rebut right this minute, I'm just going to ask our building commissioner to respond to how the Community Development Department handles such a question?
We typically learn of these issues through complaints that come into us. We're out on a daily routine anyway of doing inspections, so if we see something that we know is a special permit, we can stop and contact the contractor. But otherwise, they initiate with a complaint to Community Development. I reach out to the contractor through the portal, and then we follow up with a site visit.
Okay, thank you. And any rebuttal for anything I've said?
Just to comment on our contractor, he's a owner project manager, so he's on site every day. He's managing the process very, very cleanly and very smoothly. You might smile while I'm talking about him, but we expect that we'll be very respectful to the neighborhood and to the property in general.
Yep, thank you very much. So now we're going to go to, yeah. No, you can't talk from there, you have to come up, and you've really, is he part of your presentation?
He's the contractor for the project.
Okay, so you can be part of the rebuttal. We'll allow that today.
Thank you so much. Just one final point, and that is that as a standard matter of our practice, we go to all of the houses in the neighborhood, introduce myself, provide them with our contact information so that in the event that there is any issue, they're able to reach me personally.
That's great. That sounds like dispositive of the issue. And now we'll go to questions from the board. Ginny, questions?
Paul, I do have a couple of questions for you. So thank you for the response to the comment from Brian Zebrat. I wanted to ask you about the Board of Health condition. You heard what was read today, but also there was a hearing from last July where there was discussion around the 3 bedrooms, and there was a comment made about restricting it. So is that something we will do? Maybe that's a question here. Do we do that as part of our? No? Okay. Do you have any comments about the restriction then on the 3? Because you didn't mention that in your narrative.
It's a 3-bedroom house. It's a 2-bedroom house existing. The proposed septic system was designed for a 3-bedroom. Our design shows 3 bedrooms, and that's the way it will stay.
And so is it AI, what was put in there, the new one? It is?
It will be.
It will be,
It hasn't been
okay.
installed yet, but yes.
Okay, all right, so that's new. All right, I thought that was not new. Okay, and then another question I just had for you. So is that what you call this design, contemporary cape?
Something to that effect, yes.
So it has a combination of divided simulated lights and, what did you call it? The other type of window was what?
They're all simulated divided lights or a picture window. There's a bay window in the front that has a particular roof structure associated with it.
Oh, I thought you called the windows that are off on the right-hand side, I thought you called them something else. Okay, no, that's all I have, thank you.
And Dave Veach, questions?
Well, I'm sure you're attentive to this and aware, but I think it's important to mention that you're going at 14.95% coverage and how critical it is.
Absolutely
That you not be coming back to us with an error of an overbuild, because that would mean a variance and.
No, absolutely agree. And that was one of the reasons why we've increased our dimension to that western side setback, that we have the ability to manipulate that structure with the new foundation. So we'll be very clear and concise with the pouring of the foundation.
Yeah, well, I just felt I needed to be, because on more than one occasion, and recently, we see issues where it happens, so,
Understood.
thanks.
And we have a corner board issue coming up later today. Yeah, entertainment. So, okay, questions from Ed? Anything?
No questions, but I think I can answer Virginia. So the Board of Health will have a document that has to be signed and recorded at the Registry of Deeds, limiting it to 3 bedrooms. But other than that, no questions.
Yep, and Paul, questions?
No questions.
Lee
No questions.
and Steve?
It's not really a question. I think it's more of a comment, but I don't think I saw any stakes there yesterday when I was there.
I apologize.
Okay.
We will endeavor to be better in the future.
Because it's a little
for stakeholders.
difficult to see exactly what you're doing with.
Understood.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so Paul?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
Jeannie votes yes.
As do I. Okay, deliberations. Ed?
I think it's going to look nice in the neighborhood. It's a little bit different, but I like the design, and it certainly meets our criteria, and I don't feel it'll be substantially detrimental in any way to the neighborhood.
Thank you.
And Dave Veach?
I agree completely.
Yep. Lee?
I agree. I think it's a great improvement to that little house, which needs a little TLC right now, so
Thank
meets our criteria.
And Steve?
I think it's fine. It makes it a little more livable, a 3rd bedroom.
Yep, and Ginny?
It's not historic, it's close, but I agree. I think the diversity of style on the street will be fine.
And Paul, your thoughts?
Definitely will improve the curb appeal, and I think that's important, and it's certainly not substantially more detrimental.
Yeah, and I like the idea of the upgrade of the electric. I don't know, that just struck me as safe.
Agreed.
And, yeah, and when
Especially
you
in
look
today's
at it, you
climate.
can tell that it needs to sort of get more compliance with the surrounding neighborhood. And I think it's going to be great. And it's always an asset to improve the IA system, so I'm all for it. So, Paul?
I'll move to approve the application as submitted with the standard conditions that all construction activity and vehicles shall be contained on site or at a neighboring property with the permission of the property owner, that between June 30th and Labor Day, no exterior construction will be allowed. No work shall be permitted on the weekends, and construction activity between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. only.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
All vote yes.
I vote yes.
Jeannie votes yes.
As do I. It's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you very much for your
We'll
time.
see you next time.
Really appreciate it.
Thank you for your presentation. Next, we have a little shed on 100 Hardings Lane, first stop of East Wind Realty Trust, care of Derek Upson. And this is 25-050. Sarah?
Application number 25-050, first stop of East Wind Realty Trust, care of Derek Upson, 121 Hardings Lane, Chatham, Mass. 02633. Owner of property located at 100 Hardings Lane, also shown on the Town of Chatham's Assessors Map 14C, Block 33, Lot 23B. The applicant seeks to construct a 96-square-foot garden shed. The proposed shed requires the grant of a special permit under Section 3D3H of the Protective Bylaw, as it's proposed to be located 22.4 feet from the road where a 40-foot setback is required. The lot contains 8,217 square feet, where 40,000 square feet is required in the R40 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 9, and Section 8D2B of the protective bylaw.
Mr. Upson, I presume.
Yes, Derek Upson. We recently built a small cottage on this property for my father to move into. And the plan all along was to put a shed on the property to store his bicycle and other gardening tools and things like that. And when we went to go, we applied for the shed back in April. I kind of was under the impression that it was all setbacks for a shed under 100 square feet that were reduced to a third of what was required. So my error, and so in beginning of June, I got notice that it needed a special permit. So that's why we're here. I can go through all the criteria.
I don't think you need to.
Okay.
Does anybody think he needs to go through the criteria for this little shed? No? No, we'll give you a break. All right, is there anybody here on Microsoft Teams that wishes to speak in favor of the shed? Please raise your hand or let us know. No? And I have, let's see, Judith Giorgio doesn't have a problem with it. She tells us that on July 21, 2025, our health agent. And then we have a note from Tom and Mary Floco, and they tell us on July 8th that the garden shed for 100 Hardings, they're in support of it. And they thought it was a variance, but it's not. All right. That concludes the correspondence. Anybody want to speak against or have a question anywhere? Online or here? No? Does anybody have any questions from the board? If so, please don't be reticent, as we say.
Are you related to Buck?
Uncle Buck, yes.
Uncle Bob. I was going to say it.
That kills that, okay.
Did he tell you?
I shouldn't have admitted to it till after the vote was taken.
I would have come up with an excuse on that one.
Yeah. Ginny, you look like you have a question.
I didn't have a question, I just had a comment. So the mistake that you made is the reason why that foundation is there?
Yes, so a couple of months had passed and we were trying to get that in before the landscaping, and I just thought it was gonna get
Right.
cleared because of, I thought it was a third of what was required for
Right, all the way
road.
around, yeah. No,
So
that's a.
that's why. So
An
we stopped.
understandable mistake, and that's what, I was just wondering about that, but I think you answered that, so.
Yeah.
thank you.
Anybody else have any questions? No? Paul?
I'll
Close the
move,
hearing?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Okay, deliberations. Dave Veach, say it for us.
It's a fit, certainly not substantially detrimental to the neighborhood in any way, shape, or form, meets our criteria, and happy to support it.
Thank you. Ed, anything further?
Nope, I agree.
And Paul?
I agree.
Lee?
I agree as well.
Steve?
I agree also.
And Ginny?
I agree with my colleague.
As do I. So Paul?
I'll move to approve the application as submitted. I don't think we need any construction hazardous or anything else on this.
Does everybody feel comfortable with that?
That's fine.
Okay, very
So
good.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. It's unanimous. Congratulations, and say hi to Uncle Buck.
Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Now we're moving along to 141 Absagami Run. And this is care of Dennis Moran, 25-054, Absagami Run LLC. Am I wrong? Oh, I'm sorry. I went out, that'll be next, but I'll still reread it. 9 Chat Harbor Lane, the Deborah Carlbois Revocable Trust, 2012, 25-051. Okay.
Application number 25-051, the Deborah B. Charlebois Revocable Trust, 2012, care of Thomas Moore, P.O. Box 2124, Brewster, Mass. 02631. Owners of property located at 9 Chat Harbor Lane, also shown on the Town of Chatham's Assessor's Map 5B, Block 21A, Lot 9A. The applicant proposes to change, alter, or expand a nonconforming dwelling on a nonconforming lot via the construction of an addition. The existing dwelling is non-conforming in that it is located 6.9 feet from the road and 26 feet from the Coastal Conservancy District. The proposed addition will be non-conforming in that it will be located 47 feet from the Coastal Conservancy District, where a 50-foot setback is required. The existing building coverage is 1,451 square feet, 21.2%, and the proposed building coverage is 1,562 square feet, 22.8%, or 15% is the maximum allowed. The lot is non-conforming in that it contains 6,850 square feet of buildable upland, where 20,000 square feet is required in the R20 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Section 6, and Section 5B of the Protected Bylaw.
Welcome, sir.
Good afternoon. Thomas Moore representing Tim and Deb Charlebois at 9 Chat Harbor Lane. And we're requesting a special permit for a small addition to the rear of this house. We're essentially looking to expand the existing kitchen because it's kind of small, and it's encompassing some of the existing deck that's on the back on the rear of the house. Pretty simple, pretty straightforward. As far as the only thing, it does increase the site coverage a little bit by about 1.5 percentage points. But we feel it's not as substantially detrimental to the neighborhood than the existing structure. In addressing the criteria that the following is submitted, I mean, the existing house and building coverage is over the maximum. As I mentioned, there was just a small increase, which is not significant. The area is a neighborhood of single-family dwellings. This is a proposed, the proposed structure or addition is, will fit in and right with the existing house. Everything will kind of match what's there. The use does conform to the current bylaw. The proposed addition will not have any effect on any neighboring properties. All stormwater runoff will be contained on the site. As far as the scale, the proposed addition will not affect the visual character of the neighborhood, does not affect any views or vistas. The property is a single-family home in an area of single-family homes. The property has a Title V septic system. It's connected to town water, and drainage will be contained with gutters and downspouts. The proposed addition will not impact any flow or traffic. The proposed addition will not create any noise and/or litter. And the proposed addition will not affect any utilities or public services. And there'll be no visual impact on the neighborhood. And this is a project that has been approved through the Historical Commission and has gone before the Conservation Commission and got their approval. So I'd be happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Thank you very much. Is there anybody here on Microsoft Teams that wishes to speak in favor of this application or no, just in favor? Anybody? No. Okay, I will read the correspondences. The Conservation Commission, as you mentioned, they did send us a note on July 3rd, and the applicant submitted a request for determination of applicability on May 8th, 2025. The commission issued a -3 determination and condition to meet the performance standards under the Wetlands Protection Act. And so that was all set there. Then we have Judith Giorgio telling us she has no concerns regarding the addition to this existing 3-bedroom dwelling, and that was on July 21, 2025. And then Christina Bassett from the Historical Commission tells us that they did not find this home historically significant and so did not impose a demolition delay, and that was received on July 21, 2025. That concludes the correspondences. Is there anybody here on Microsoft Teams that wishes to speak against or has a question? No. Nobody? Okay, very good. Questions from the board? Lee?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Paul, do you have any questions?
My only questions, I guess, would be, what's your plan in terms of construction? Do you, it's obviously a narrow lane going up there,
Looking to start after Labor Day.
and would you be able to keep all the vehicles and so forth that are involved in the construction on site?
I would expect so, because as far as the foundation, it's just going to be a pier type of a foundation, so there's not going to be a big concrete truck there, and there will be minimal, I would expect, minimal construction vehicles for such a small addition. So,
Okay, thank you.
Okay, Dave Veach, questions?
I have no, I have no questions.
No, Ed? And Steve, you look like you might have one.
No, I have no
No?
questions.
And Lee, I already asked you, I think. And Jenny, questions?
Yeah, I have one question. You may not know the answer, but Sarah, you may know. Is this a similar situation, the building coverage being over, to the floodplain map changes in 2014? Is that why they're over already? And
I would say most likely,
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
The lot area is 27,755, but the upland is only 6,850.
So that's part of it, okay. All right, thank you.
Good question. Okay, I don't have any questions, so Paul?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
All vote yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Okay, deliberations. Steve?
Well, I think this is a good project. It's not going to be really visible for many of the neighbors, and I think the lot coverage is skewed a bit because of the low amount of buildable upland that's available. So I don't see this as a problem at all.
Ed? What say you?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's going to be, I think it meets our criteria, not going to be substantially detrimental to the neighborhood. It's, the addition looks like it's going where an existing deck was already, so I have no issues.
And Dave Veach?
Yeah, I agree. It's a great fit for the house in the neighborhood.
Ginny?
Yeah, all but 13 square feet is what I calculated. That'll be additional, over the existing deck. I agree. It fits in the neighborhood, not substantially more detrimental.
And Paul?
Yeah, I think its location is such that it'll have no impact on the neighborhood.
And I think Lee?
I agree with my colleagues.
All right, so Paul?
All right, I'll move to approve the application as submitted with the condition that all construction activity and vehicles shall be contained on site or at a neighboring property with the permission of the property owner, that between June 30th and Labor Day, no exterior construction will be allowed, no work shall be permitted on the weekends, and construction activity between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. only.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. It's unanimous. Congratulations.
thank you very much.
All right, have a good day. Now we will go to 141 Absegami Run, application 25-054, Absegami Run LLC, care of Dennis Moran. And Sarah will read that advertisement. And we have a surprise applicant, a surprise representative.
Application number 25-054, Absegami Run LLC, care of Dennis Moran, P.O. Box 6, South Harwich, Mass. 02661. Owner of property located at 141 Absegami Run, also shown in the Town of Chatham's Assessor's Map 12E, Block 23, Lot A20. The applicant seeks to reconstruct an elevated stairway and pre-existing non-conforming private residential pier. The existing pier is non-conforming in that it is 116 feet long and is located 83 feet from an adjacent pier to the east and 125 feet from an adjacent pier to the west. The proposed reconstructed pier will be non-conforming in that it will be located 114 feet long and will be located 85 feet from the adjacent pier to the east and 128 from the adjacent pier to the west, where 250 feet is required. The square footage of all floats will remain non-conforming at 360 square feet, where 300 square feet is the maximum allowed. The property is located in the R40 zoning district, and a special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Sections 6 and 9, and Sections 5B and 8D2B of the protective bylaw.
Attorney Litchfield, welcome.
Good. Thank you, Madam Chairman. Bill Litchfield here on behalf of Absegami Run LLC, which is the Tutrone family who could not be here today, but with us virtually is Dennis Moran of Ty and Bond, and this is, if it's acceptable to the board, going to what's being proposed, and they can talk about the technicalities and I can go into the criteria. We'll try to be brief.
Sure, that'd be great.
Short version is that there has been a pier and a set of stairs leading down to it at this property since 1986. It's been there for a long time. At the time it was constructed, it would receive the required Chapter 91 state license, permission from the Conservation Commission, permission from the Select Board, was then the Board of Selectmen, which was in charge of licensing piers at the time. Subsequent to that, the town's bylaw changed, and now piers require your review and approval. We are non-conforming because we pre-exist that section of the bylaw, and now would like to reconstruct the pier, not precisely as it exists. It's going to be 2 feet shorter, and it's going to be reoriented a little bit. So it is not a simple replacement in kind, which arguably could be done under simple maintenance. It is a very, very minor change from what is there now. So with that, if I could ask Dennis to tell you about the particulars of what's being proposed, which is simply replacing what's there, and then I'll go into the criteria.
Okay, we can definitely keep this brief. So go ahead, Dennis.
Okay, thank you, Bill, and pleasure to be in front of the board today. So in the effort to keep this brief, I'm going to kind of summarize the existing conditions and the proposed conditions. So this is the existing pier at 141, and as Bill mentioned, it's not a direct replacement in kind, but it is a very, very, very similar pier. We are proposing to slightly modify the orientation by a couple feet to make the structure a little bit more conforming, and then provide some improvements that were directly related to like life safety and just bring it to industry standards. So as Bill mentioned, here's the existing pier. It's a timber set of stairs coming down to a timber pier. And there's a small sitting area and shed here. So all of this will be replaced in generally the same footprint and generally the same construction material. So it is a seasonally removable pier. And it, again, it's minor updates. The project does have an existing Chapter 91 license, and we are here in front of the board today because it is a non-conforming structure. So this is the history. If anybody has any questions about the permitting history of the existing structure. Bill already mentioned that the existing pier is 116 feet long. We're proposing a 114-foot pier, and the dimensions from the abutters is slightly modified because of the orientation. So we're a little bit more conforming compared to what it was before. Staging and access will be off of the roadway. There's plenty of room, and we don't expect any large equipment. This is generally just a couple pickup trucks, as this is all going to be done in the water. And then the limit of work is about 1/3 of an acre. So this is mostly going to be done all with hand tools and hand labor. A cross-section of the existing pier, again, generally the same as before, with some slight updates to meet current industry standards and safety with the balusters on the railings and fall protection. Summary of the work: we're not proposing any work during the summer months. No real removal of any vegetation. All work will be in the dry, except the installation of the permanent pipe piles so the pier can be seasonally removed. And the existing pier will be demoed completely. I kind of went through that very quickly, but not sure if there's any particular questions you would like to go through.
We'll get there if there are. And so Attorney Litchfield, you've given us written findings, but well, for our consideration, but please highlight the ones you think are most important.
Thank you. You just did. That is sufficient. You have my written findings. As you say, it is not a significant change. It complies with most aspects of the bylaw. Site suitable. There's been a pier there for 40 years. We simply want to replace it. I think you can readily find that it will not be substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood.
And you got a seal of approval from one of your neighbors.
And also, I should note from the harbor master.
Yep, we'll get to that. Yep, we will read those.
I know you will.
Yeah, very good. Is there anybody here on Microsoft Teams that wishes to speak in favor? Anything to add? No. Okay, I will read the correspondences. There are 3. One from the Conservation, one from the Harbor Master, and one from the Oppenheims. So on July 22nd, the harbor master tells us he's reviewed the application for the proposed pier at 141 Apsagami Run in Oyster Pond and found that the proposed reconstruction of the existing non-conforming 116-foot pier will not interfere with the navigation or pose any public safety issue. The pier would also not interfere with any existing moorings within the area. Then the Conservation Commission tells us that they write a note on July 3rd that 141 Apsagami Run was before them on January 28th, 2025. The project was heard again on February 12th, March 5th, and the project will be conditioned to meet the performance standards. And that's that. Then David and Gail Oppenheim of 87 Apsagami Run sent us a note on July 16th, 2025. They are the owners of 87 Apsagami, next door to the applicants, and have lived there for over 40 years. They are in full support of the applicant's request to reconstruct their stairs and pier. The structure has been in place since the mid-'80s and always well-maintained, and it's time to replace it and fix the materials and could start to fail. The Tutrones take meticulous care of their home, and we strongly urge you approve the application. Anybody on Microsoft Teams or here in the audience have a question or have an opinion against this application? Neither. Okay, questions from the board. David Veach?
I have no questions.
Ed?
No questions.
Paul?
No questions.
No questions.
No questions?
I have a question. It looked like it was a boathouse, but it's really a shed, is what I think Dennis called it. Is that also part of the project? I didn't see that referenced anywhere.
It was mentioned, I think it is going to be reconstructed, but that, if it's not before this board, and Dennis can correct me, but if it's not before this board for approval, then it would have to be reconstructed in kind, exactly as it is now. David, Dennis, is that essentially correct?
That's so, oh, sorry, I'm getting an echo. The boathouse is not going to be reconstructed, so it's just a timber platform. So it's a smaller footprint. So the boathouse is being removed. Oh, the boathouse is staying? Oh, so, sorry. I have a colleague next to me that's a little bit more familiar with the project. The boathouse is staying as in kind, but it's not being impacted as part of this project.
Okay, yeah, it looked like it was in good shape. I had no problem with it, I just didn't see it referenced anywhere. I wanted to just confirm.
No, when I went out to the site, I saw it, obviously, I knew it was there anyway, and I noted that it was not a part of the application.
Right.
I presume that there was a reason that it was not.
Right. And then all of the floats are existing floats, right? The change is really just the rebuilding of them. They're not.
Yeah, our bylaw has a limitation of 300 square feet. The existing floats, which again were permitted by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts many, many years ago, total 360 square feet. They may be new materials, but they'll be located as shown on that plan.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, very good. Paul?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes?
As do I. Okay, deliberations. Ginny?
Yeah, it's a great idea to rebuild and preserve the pier and the floats, and well, you can't get them today, and so I'm all fully supportive of it. And I just want to say, this book that was put together by Ty and Bond was so thorough and helpful, well done, and I would support the project.
Very good. Steve?
I think it's a good project. Looks like it's probably time to be replaced, so not a bad idea.
And Lee?
I agree with my colleagues. It's a huge plus to have this. It's adds a lot and is useful in the same respect, so I would approve this.
And David Veach?
I agree with all previous. It's certainly not substantially more detrimental to the neighborhood. It's a vast improvement.
Yeah, and Ed?
Yeah, I certainly agree. It's more of a maintenance project, it seems, so in support of it.
Yeah, and I agree. Paul?
I also agree, yes.
So?
I'll move to approve the application as submitted. I guess my question would be, what's their plan in terms of construction?
After Labor Day, so that would be
Okay.
acceptable.
And normally, we would say construction vehicles be contained on site or at neighboring properties with permission. It's a very short driveway there, and then you're on a circle. Would the vehicles that are involved in construction be on the property, or?
I think from what Dennis had indicated, it's going to be a fairly small project in terms of hand tools and things like that. If there is a need to park in the circle, I think Absegami is a private way, I don't know if it's a town way. The Tutrones have a very good relationship with their abutters, and they're not going to annoy anyone. So for the convenience of all, if the board did not include that provision in this one case, it might be useful in case there is need to occasionally park something in the cul-de-sac.
And in that situation, we would consider it to be neighboring property with the permission of the property owners?
That's what I was thinking.
If it is a private way, and I honestly don't know, then that would be true,
Yeah.
because the neighbors all own to the center of the road.
Just ask them.
Okay, I'll move to approve the application as submitted with the conditions that all construction activity and vehicles shall be contained on site or at a neighboring property with the permission of the property owner. Between June 30th and Labor Day, no exterior construction will be allowed. No work shall be permitted on the weekends, and construction activity between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. only.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
And Paul?
All vote yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. That's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yep, you too. Thank you. Okay. Moving on to 27 Shirley Drive, 25-057, Georgianne and Stephen DeCenzo. Revocable Living Trust, care of Bernadette McLeod. And we will have that read when Sarah's ready.
Application number 25-057, Georgianne E. and Stephen R. DeCento Revocable Living Trust, care of Bernadette McLeod, P.O. Box 439, South Orleans, Mass. 02662. Owners of property located at 27 Shirley Drive, also shown on the Town of Chatham's Assessors Map 1B, Block 9, Lot N11. The applicant seeks to modify special permit number 24-074 granted on July 30th, 2024, which allowed for the partial demolition of the existing dwelling and the construction of additions. The applicant now seeks to modify the special permit to allow for an increase in building coverage. The approved building coverage was 1,675 square feet, 14.2%, and the constructed building coverage was 1,686 square feet, 14.3%, where 15% is the maximum allowed. The lot is non-conforming in that it contains 11,818 square feet, where 20,000 square feet is required in the R20 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Sections 6 and 14, and Sections 5B and 8D2B of the protective bylaw.
Welcome.
Hi, I'm Bernadette McLeod from Ryder and Wilcox, and I'm here to modify the special permit that was granted on July 30th, 2024. So unfortunately, when our surveyors drew the proposed plan, they forgot to add the corner boards. So subsequently, after the addition was built per plan, and they went out to do a final, they counted the corner boards and they were 11 square feet over. So I'm here to beg forgiveness.
Okay, well, you don't have to beg too
And we still
too
conform,
vigorously.
so.
Yes, you still conform.
And now we're going like over, we're adding extra square footage. We're not going to 14.9 or 15%. We have a new policy of being under, so.
Very good. Enough said. Anybody here on Microsoft Teams wish to speak in favor? If so, please make it known. Seeing none, I will read the one correspondence from David and Kathleen Steele, received on July 10th, and they live at 38 Shirley Drive, and they are in support of the application for a special permit, period. Anybody here on Microsoft Teams wish to speak against or has a question? No. Questions from the board, are there any? Anybody? Nope. Okay, Paul?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Eats seconds and votes yes.
All vote yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Okay, deliberations. We'll start with Ginny and we'll just go right around.
Yeah, I approved it last time, and I would have approved it this time with that small, it's 11 square feet. I think, when I went and looked at it, I didn't even recognize, I said, I don't think I've been here before. It looked so good and different. So I think the outcome was excellent, and I would support the modification.
All right, very good. And Steve, anything?
Yeah, I don't see any problems. I think this would have been approved initially anyway, so it's okay. And they're still under coverage, so.
Right, and Lee?
I agree. I'd like to just echo what Ginny said. It's really fun to go out and see what's been done and see what a great job you guys did. So great improvement to the property.
Yep, and Paul?
I agree with my colleagues.
As do I.
As do I.
As do I. Okay, very good.
I'll move to approve the application as submitted.
Dave Eats seconds and votes yes.
All vote yes.
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. It's unanimous. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we'll see you next time. Last but not least, we have Willis Barton Row, care of William F. Riley, 25-061, 734 Fox Hill Road. Sarah?
Application number 25-061, Willis Barton Row, care of William F. Riley Esquire, P.O. Box 707, Chatham, Mass. 02633. Owner of property located at 734 Fox Hill Road, also shown on the Town of Chatham's Assessor's Map 12M Block 1, Lot W1. The applicant seeks to enlarge, extend, or change a non-conforming dwelling on a conforming lot via the partial demolition and reconstruction of the dwelling. The existing dwelling is non-conforming, and that it is located partially within the Coastal Conservancy District floodplain elevation 11 and located 23.2 feet from the road. The proposed reconstructed dwelling will be non-conforming, and that it will be located 23.2 feet from the road where a 40-foot setback is required, and partially within the Coastal Conservancy District where a 50-foot setback is required. The existing building coverage is 2,305 square feet, and the proposed building coverage is 2,945 square feet, where 2,950 square feet is the maximum allowed. The lot contains 26,988 square feet of buildable upland and contains 41,888 square feet in the R40 zoning district. A special permit is required under Mass General Law, Chapter 40A, Sections 6 and 9, and Sections 5B and 8D2B of the protective bylaw.
Okay, so you can tell us what's new, Mr. Riley, if you would.
The ridge is lower.
Okay, end of, anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
I'll talk as long as you
You brought
want.
help for that, too. Yeah, you brought help. Yeah, so
Karen
this-
can explain the changes she made.
Yeah, please do.
We just wanted to point out one thing. My application had errors in the gross floor area.
All right. Good to know.
Just kind of go through how we got the
Just,
project?
you made it lower, but just tell us how you figured that out.
We made it lower, so it is actually 1 foot 9 inches lower than the rendering, the main ridge. We dropped the pitch from a 10 pitch to a 9 pitch, brought the front of the rafters down so they're sitting on top of the first floor studs instead of on the second floor floor system. And then the wall heights of the dormers have been brought down from 8 feet to 7.4.
Sounds very creative. Anybody here on Microsoft Teams wishes to speak in favor?
I hear a roar from the crowd.
I know, yeah, no, and seeing none, and I will read the two correspondences that we've received. And one was from Judith Giorgio, a health agent, 7/21/2025. She's reviewed the plan to renovate and add to the property. It appears the dwelling will maintain the existing 6-bedroom layout. However, an existing floor plan is needed to confirm the bedroom count. The septic tank location will encroach on the addition and must be relocated and replaced with a 1,500-gallon tank. Next, we have a note from Conservation from June 3rd, 2025. The applicant went to Conservation, and the project will be conditioned to meet the performance standards. That concludes our correspondences. Did you want to say anything about that, Mr. Riley, at all? Nope. All right, very good. Anybody here on Microsoft team has a question? Any questions? No. Any voice of opposition? Please speak. Seeing none. Questions from the board? Are there any? No? Okay, very good. Paul?
I'll move to close the hearing and move into deliberations.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
All vote yes?
I vote yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Okay, Ginny, deliberations.
Well, I want to thank you for, well, acknowledge the change. My question was what did change, and it was the height. That was the only thing. I do not think that it's substantially more detrimental to that neighborhood. It's just under the max, but it is under the max, and I think that neighborhood can support that.
Okay, Dave Veach?
Yeah, thank you for taking care of that, doing that. The thing that comes to mind as a comment is that what Karen described about the framing and the rafters landing on the top of the first floor plate rather than the second floor deck is how Chatham Works came to be a foot higher than designed, because they put the rafters down. It was drawn and designed that way. It was built with the rafters coming down onto the deck, and that's how they ended up with the extra foot that then needed relief from us. So as long as you make sure that the actually gets constructed that way, that's an important part of it. Thanks.
Yeah, that's for sure. Ed?
No, I agree with Virginia. I think she said it well. It's, thank you for the modification, and I think it's going to fit in nicely in that neighborhood.
Yep, and Lee?
I agree. Thank you for the modification, and the picture you showed was very attractive, so it will fit in very nicely in the neighborhood.
And Steve?
Thank you for taking a second look at this. I think it's a great house and it'll be a nice addition to the neighborhood.
And Paul?
Well, after the first hearing, this is pretty easy. Thank you
Yeah.
very much, and I don't think I have any other comments.
I don't either, so let's get it done.
I'll move to approve the application as submitted. What's your feeling on when construction is going to take place, Bill?
Imagine it'll begin as quickly as they can. There's plenty of room on the lot for construction vehicles, and it's a neighborhood of large lots, so I don't think you need a condition, to tell you the truth.
Except for summertime.
Summertime, yeah, okay. So between
Yeah.
8 and 5, no work on weekends.
All right, I'll move to approve the application as submitted with the condition that all construction activity and vehicles shall be contained on-site or at a neighboring property with the permission of the property owner between June 15 and September 15. No work shall be permitted on weekends and construction activity between 8 a.m. and 5 p.m. only. I don't think we need the no exterior construction allowed in that time frame.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think that's an issue, because the lots are all very large there.
Yep.
So Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Can I just say, should it be June 30th on Labor Day?
June 15th is our standard.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, that's the, typically the flood zone standard. But typically we use that in the Little Beach area where the lots are much, much smaller.
So June 30th?
Yeah, that's the standard for
Okay.
pretty much anywhere else.
June 30th then,
And Dave Veach?
between
Yeah.
June 30th and September 15th.
Agreed, and I second and vote yes.
Okay.
Paul votes yes.
Lee?
I vote yes.
Ginny?
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. And that concludes our hearing for today. And it is what time?
3:05.
And motion to adjourn?
I'll move to adjourn.
Dave Veach seconds and votes yes.
Ed Acton votes yes.
Paul votes yes.
I vote yes.
He votes yes.
Ginny votes yes.
As do I. Good day, Chatham.